Hey everyone, it's Connie Stewart and I'm back with another video tutorial on wonderful, fabulous box making. And today's video is about how to create this two-tone box. I love the way two-tone boxes look. Basically, a two-tone box is just where more of my box shows and my lid doesn't come all the way down. So you can see my box and my lid are just two different depths. So let's go ahead and get started with this box. To get a basic idea of what we need and what size cardstock you're going to need, you have to decide what size you want your box to be. If you wanted to create a box to fit a certain project that you've made or a certain gift that you've made, you're going to want to measure the length, the width, and the depth of that item, okay? So that we know what size box that item will fit into. So for me, I knew I needed my box to be 4 inches wide, 4 inches long, and 2 inches deep. Okay, now let me show you how to do the math to know what size to cut your cardstock. Don't freak out. It's not hard math. We're adding simple numbers. It's good. Okay, so we're going to start with my box. My finished box is 4 by 4 by 2, right? So my length is 4, my width is 4, and my depth is 2. But we always double the depth because there's depth on both sides of the box, right? So we have to do depth times 2, which is going to equal 4. So stick with me because I know this is an odd one, but we have our length plus our depth, remember, which is also 4. Length plus depth equals 8. Width plus depth also equals 8. I'm going to cut one piece of cardstock 8 by 8, and that's going to be my white piece of cardstock will be cut 8 by 8. Okay, next, let's look at our lid. Our lid is a little different because we want our lid to be only 1.5 inches deep. So 4 inches by 4 inches by 1.5. So my depth, 1.5, but remember we're going to double it, so it's 3 inches. So I have length plus depth is 7. Width plus depth is 7. So I'm going to cut for my lid a 7 by 7 piece of cardstock. Oh, I hope you're still with me after all that math. But look, I barely got through math, so if I can handle that, I know you can too. So there's my 2 pieces of cardstock. So let's go ahead and get started on the scoring. I want to start with my box first. I'm going to put it on my Simply Scored tool. And remember, my depth of my box was 2 inches, so I'm going to score my box cardstock at 2 inches all the way around. Now we're going to move on to the lid, but remember, this is where the Simply Simple box shim comes in. If you're not familiar with this shim, you're going to want to watch the video called Simply Simple Box Shim because you're going to need to create this little window sheet shim to be able to make your lid. Remember that just clips there on the side of your Simply Scored. And I'm going to score my lid, but remember it's only 1.5 inches deep. So I'm going to make sure my cardstock is butted up against that shim and score it 1.5 inches all the way around. Whoops. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so now that we have that, we're going to do the basic cutting. I hope that you can see I have squares here on the ends. I like to tell my customers the only thing you're going to cut on when you cut, the only thing you're going to cut is on those squares. Don't cut anything else. They don't need to be touched. We're just going to cut on these squares. And all I'm doing is I'm cutting up to the score line. Okay, so you can see that's all we're going to cut. Now I need to miter these, but like I said, only cut on these squares. There's nothing else we need to cut. And all I'm doing is I'm cutting it at an angle and cutting kind of these big, long, skinny, kind of triangle-y things. Okay, do one more. You're going to do, whoops, you're going to do this. I've said whoops a lot in this video, haven't I? Sorry. So we're going to do this to all sides, and I won't keep going because I don't want to bore you with that. So now at this point we're going to take our sticky strip. Well, I should say, before I get my boy, there are a lot of us here, aren't they? We are going to take our bone folder And we're going to give all the scored lines a good score. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way around. And then we're going to take the sticky strip and we're going to put the sticky strip on the box right up against that score line. Okay, right up against there. Now at this point you would go ahead and decorate. I just stamped using the Creative Elements stamp set, just the big swirl in there. So you're going to go ahead and stamp any way you want on here. And then at that point we can pull off the sticky strip. And we're just going to, I hope I'm lined up there for you guys. We're going to line up our edges. I'm probably way too far over. There we go. So we're going to do that on all four sides to create our lid. Okay? You're going to repeat and do the same thing with the box. And that's going to get you this gorgeous two-tone box to fit your hand-stamped gifts that you created, or just to be able to celebrate the nation's #1 team. Go Sooners! So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video on how to create two-tone boxes. I hope you'll make some of your own. Have a great day, everyone.